Hawa, Barakati Hawashai, Barakati Hawa, Barakati Hawashai, Barakati Hawa, Barakati Hawashai, Kahalayim Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock of Israel. Shalom and salutation to you, Akim, out here pushing the words of truth and sincerity. All right, shalom to all the elect, Akim, Aqua, scattered Israelite foreigners. I brought this out. This video is edifying. I'm Rapah Moth, and today's topic is prophecy's power. How biblical predictions bring the world to a standstill. All right, the magnitude and the the power of prophecy and how everything else pauses. Its ability to cause to take center stage, whatever's going on in the world. That's what prophecy does. All right, it causes everything else to yield or to stop to it. All right, that's the power of prophecy, and that we're going into today. And that's why, through the Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua has his prophets devoted to prophecy. All right, that's what they do. They bring out the word. Jeremiah 28:8. It goes into that. All right, and so what are we prophesying about according to Jeremiah 28:8? Wars, pestilences, plagues that the Heavenly Father is sending as atonement or affliction, and correction, right? And some of these most notable, for instance, you have something called the doomsday clock. A doomsday clock it says a symbolic clock that represents the likelihood of a global catastrophe. You have a situation in which you can't, you have a situation in which you have something as a doomsday clock that Esau is pushing. And what does that represent? The likelihood of a global catastrophe. All right, created in 1947 by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists to convey the threat of nuclear war, and has since been updated annually to reflect the current state of global affairs. You have a full-fledged doomsday clock that operates daily to warn you and convey that there is a constant threat of nuclear war. And a nuclear war is what they consider a global catastrophe, which is an event that has a potential to cause widespread destruction and loss of life across the entire world. Never has technology been this advanced to be able to send from one side of the world to another a nuclear warhead in 30 minutes or less at speeds past Mach 10, Mach 12, Mach 13, 14, and 15. Never before has technology advanced that fast. Aerodynamics put together with rocket fuel, rocket engineering, put together with atomic and nuclear engineering to have this weapon that we have to this day that can bring such widespread destruction and loss of life like you have in this day and age. And this is why this doomsday clock is at 90 seconds to midnight. All right, so nuclear war, pandemics, all right, these are the things that are prophesied in the Bible, and that's why we spend so much time going over them. All right, and if you Google about how many countries are nuclear capable, they're just going to say 9, but the countries that they name are United States, Russia, China, France, the UK, India, Pakistan, and Israel, and North Korea. We know that Iran yesterday or today even shot off a ballistic missile from a ship. All right, they got ships. They got big, large navies, ships, battleships that they're launching missiles off daily as we speak, hourly. All right, you got the situation going on in Gaza that's causing more conflict. So this is the landscape of the globe right now. It's hot, and the game of war, the game of launching arrows is about to begin. And obviously this list is so outdated that it needs an update. So what's going to happen when prophecy consumes these people's attention and causes the earth to have a standstill? Isaiah 13 verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. The Chaldees was known as the ancient magi's, witches, and experts in witchcraft and sorcery. Babylon is spiritually America. Okay, this place America, Babal meaning confusion. America stands for confusion. Everything it upholds is confusion. All right, the minds of the people are confused here. Moralities of the people are lost. All right, the degrading of the people has gotten worse, perpetually worse, since the 70s, and since this truth started to come out in these streets. All right, so the Lord is getting ready to do something to justify an act against Babylon. It says, in Babylon the glory of kingdoms, and Babylon become the glory of kingdoms, because look at America in the aspect of all these other nations. America has more riches. America has more more clout, so to speak, more higher representation or reputation than all of these other countries. To become glorious. Nations have done leaps and bounds to get here. People from all over the world died trying to get to America, but we know what's going to happen to it. The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, this is a biblical event, a prophetic event, because it was prophesied. All right, which means men warned Lot to leave Sodom and Gomorrah. Angels came to Lot's house to warn him of the doom that was going to happen befall Sodom and Gomorrah in those 3 neighboring cities, 5 cities altogether. Abraham prayed for Lot because he knew that his cousin Lot was in Sodom and his family. So he prayed because he knew the prophecy concerning Sodom and Gomorrah. And Sodom and Gomorrah was known for all type of devious, immoral, sexual natures and sexual acts. All right, including everything listed in the alphabet people, LG and all of them other letters. Sodom and Gomorrah was known for that, and it was destroyed because of that. All right, Exodus 20 and 13. That's an abomination to the Heavenly Father. All right, so America is now spiritually Babylon and spiritually Sodom. You read that in Revelations 8 and 11. All right, it says, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So you take an ancient biblical event like Sodom and Gomorrah and replay it now in modern. People were in Sodom and Gomorrah at that time. Populations of people dwelling and living and carrying on, all right, with their wickedness in Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked in Sodom and Gomorrah and these neighboring cities. So the Most High overthrew it with fire. All right, and that's how Babylon's going to get thrown down, with fire. All right, so there is no debate about how what's going to happen with all of these nuclear missiles. All right, what's going to happen with the doomsday clock? It's actually going to strike midnight. All right, but there ain't gonna be nobody to adjust the clock. It's just gonna go. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 17. Salaki, let me start up. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. So the sword is an instrument of death. The Most High's modern day sword that he's going to use to destroy is these nuclear missiles, this nuclear arsenal. Why? Because the Most High sees it fit to do so, just like he did in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. It says, and one people shall stand up against another people and fight against another people, and with swords in their hands. And I just named all the nations, a few of the nations that are nuclear capable, including the U.S., Russia, China, France, UK, India, Pakistan, Israel, North Korea. Now you got Iran. Who's gonna moderate the state of Israel on their nuclear arsenal? They're the only state that neither decline to have nor come out openly and agree that they have nuclear missiles. You can't tell these people nothing. All right, they just attacked the whole city during the Super Bowl and killed 100 people, including women and kids. The sword is drawing nigh. That's what's happening, man. All right, more war in the Middle East. That's the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Brothers went into that today over there in LA. Right? So the sword is drawing nigh. That means destruction. That means that doomsday clock is actually going to hit 0. The clock strike. That's what we're waiting on. And one people shall stand up against another people with swords, and against another with swords in their hands. Nuclear capable cities. destroying each other. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men. Sedition means talking, inciting words against the government and invading one another. So there's invasions that's going to be happening in these times we in. And then they're going to invade by using that arrow. They're going to invade with their nukes, with their swords, by shooting their swords at Babylon to confound her, to destroy her. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Yeah, your free travel today is going to be interrupted by prophecy. All right, and that's the whole idea of the video, is that, you know, the title, Prophecy's Power. What is the power of prophecy? To stop everything in its tracks and get undivided attention from everything going on globally. Society as a whole stopping because biblical prophecy is taking center stage. The biblical predictions based off the prophecies of Isaiah, Jeremiah, prophecies of Amos, Obadiah, prophecies of Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, prophecies of Job, all right, and Elijah, in Ezekiel, prophecies of John the Revelator, prophecies of all the prophets in the scriptures coming to pass and bringing the world as we know it to a standstill. That's why in the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. You'll have to stop. You'll have to yield from knowing society as you know it, because it's going to take an abrupt pause, because we're getting that much closer to doomsday. Doomsday clock keeps ticking less time and less time. All right, eventually it's going to happen. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And this destruction that the Most High is going to cause to happen, and the prophecy leading up into that destruction, is going to take center stage, which is going to cause all these people to be afraid. They're afraid when they have to focus on what the Lord is going to judge them with, thermonuclear fire. They're afraid when they have to face reality. They're afraid at what's going to happen to them and their families and their children. They're afraid. They're troubled on every side. So they want to cut off people from coming in and out the country, because you don't know where they coming from and the philosophy and the mindset of these people, but they crossing over into the country. Now they're going to try to cut it off. They're going to try to stop this. And it's because of the pride of this place, Babylon, thinking that she's the most glorious, untouched, right, place in the world, better than everybody else. This outstretched stiff-heartedness of the kings of Babylon, the kings of America, in waging war and turning their back so many times on these nations. And now the scriptures say all that were confederate with thee have turned against thee. So Esau, Edom is going to have nothing but enemies out of all of these nations. That's why America is going to get shot upon with all of these people in it. All right, when I jump down, as a matter of fact, let me grab a few different ones. And shalom to, you know, everybody and the brothers as well. All right, bear with me. This is the book of Revelations 13 and 16, and I had to bring it out. I had to bring it out because this is prophecy. When prophecy happens, this is the title, Prophecy's Power. How biblical predictions bring the world to a standstill. When prophecy happens, this prophecy, the world's going to be at a standstill, because you won't be able to do certain things without this. This is prophecy. You can't say this was caused by anything else when the prophets are here telling you what's going to happen before it happened. You can't say, well, it was actually because, you know, Biden or the Democrats. Nah, it's prophesied that this would happen 2,000 years ago. This is Revelation 13:16. Matter of fact, I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, he required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. And no man could buy or sell anything without that mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. It doesn't matter who you are. You will have to yield, all right, to prophecy, all right? And the Lord is going to have to keep. He said, I will keep you from the hour of temptation. So he will keep our minds preserved to be able to deny such power in that day, because it's a requirement. At that point, it's a cause. If that's a requirement, that's a mandated. It's happening by the beast. The verse above tells you that anybody that doesn't worship the image of the beast should be killed. So this comes with the threat of death, as well as not fitting into society, being able to sustain your life. You can't buy or sell. All right, you can't go a day without buying and selling as we know it now. So the Lord is definitely going to have to intervene for his saints, in which we believe he will. We believe he will, and we constantly preach that. That's a part of prophecy. But these things must come to pass. Proverbs 27:1 says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. So here it is. You might think that society is going to continue on as the way it does. They have a phrase for that. It's called normalcy bias. That's the belief that things are just going to continue to operate the way they are. But prophets, the power of prophecy is that when it comes to pass, these predictions straight out of the Bible is going to cause the world to come to a complete standstill, and that you're not going to be able to do things that you thought you was going to do. So what is boasting of tomorrow? Actually, it's a act of pride. It's an act of arrogancy, right? NLT says, don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring. And that's why in the book of James, it tells you that we say, Lord willing, after these things. Lord willing, I'll make it to that event. The Lord could take your life before then. All right. Lord willing, we make it on those ships, we're saved, right? Lord willing, because we still are in Babylon, and we know that the prophecies are going to change the dynamics of everything we know about society and how it unfolds from day to day, right? As we continue to go, verse 10 says, 2 Peter 3:10 says, but the day the Lord will come as a thief in the night, right? We're expecting that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is going to return as a thief in the night, all right? And which is an unexpected thing. When a thief comes in the night, everybody's sleeping, nobody's aware, but only the prophets who are, and the watchmen who have been looking and waiting and staying up, right? Wait, who can wait? Who can stay up? All right, can you not stay up for a few hours? The Lord asked the disciples when they fell asleep, when he would go pray. So we have to stay up for the thief, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. So that's Yahweh Shah returning back, all right, and waging war against the 2/3, waging war against these nations, bringing doom with him, all right, causing the world to come to a standstill, all right, putting society on pause, all right. It says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Call halal yimihal ba'ashim yahweh shah. NLT says, it says, then the heavens will pass away with a terrible noise, and the very elements themselves will disappear in fire. The earth and everything on it will be found to deserve judgment. And that's the judgment of the Heavenly Father, man. All right. So we know that we're prophesying up until a point, because the power of prophecy is that when it comes to pass, then everything else has to stop. Prophecies take the center stage. Everybody else yields. Your plans yields. All your plans will get burned up, and their tongues get burnt in their mouth, and their eyes get burnt in their, everything yields. The plans of Sodom and Gomorrites yielded to prophecy as it began to take center stage. Societies of ancient Babylon yielded when prophecies began to take center stage. Everything yields to the Heavenly Father, because when we talk about biblical prophecy, we are talking about the will of the Heavenly Father. His will be done. Call Allah Yim Yahaba Shemi Shah. Lord willing, this video is edifying. All right. And till next time, Shalom.